Hello friends, in today's video we are going to learn about the odd one out questions in non-verbal reasoning section of 11 plus exam, which involves identifying a shape, figure, pattern that doesn't fit with rest of the figures given. These type of questions test a student's ability to recognize difference in size, shape, color, orientation and pattern. The goal is to find the one figure that breaks the pattern or rule followed by the others. If you have yet not subscribed to our channel, I would request you to do so. And if you like our video, please like our channel as well. So let's get started with today's content. So if we see the very first example, in this particular example, we can see there are shapes, two shapes, top and bottom, and they both are identical. So we need to identify one shape which is not following that particular rule. So the clue here is same shape should be top and bottom. So this option A is following that rule. So it shouldn't be an odd one out. Then option B is also following the same rule. But if we see option C is not following that rule because the top image is having 5 edge star. However, the bottom edge image is having 4 stars. If we see option D, that's also having similar figures. Option E also is having similar figures. So the odd one out would be option C here. Now let's have a look into the next example. So in the next example, if we see, we can see these all shapes are rotated shapes and the shading is in from left to right in upward direction. So if we see in this example option as well, it's a similar case wherein the left hand side is in less height and right hand side is in higher height. If we see option C, this is looking a bit odd because the left hand side is at higher end and right hand side is at lower end. Option D is also a rotated image of A and B, and option E is also a rotated image of option A, B and D. So the clue here should be the rotated image with same side of inclination, and the odd one out is option C. Now let's see the next example. So in this example, if we see, there are circle, or we can say sphere, and the inner circle or inner sphere is having a dark shading. However, these all three shapes are separated by the middle one and the inner one is having space in between. But if we see the option C, the inner circle is touching the middle circle, and option D and option E are also following the similar rule like A and B. So here the clue should be inner circle closeness to the outer circle, and option C is not following that rule. So that should be the odd one out. Now let's have a look of next example. So in the next example, if you see, there are two images. Inner image and outer image are same. However, the inner image is having darkness here. In this example, we do see similar image, outer inner, but the inner one is not shaded one. Then we do see option C, which is a square one. Inner side shape is also square with shade, dark shading. Option D is a triangle with inner shape is also a triangle, and option E is a circle and inner shape is a square here. So if we see all these examples, the first four A, B, C and D, they are following one pattern. The inner image and outer image is same. However, the option E is not following that rule. So in this case, the clue should be inner and outer shape, that should be same, and the option E is not following that rule, so that should be the odd one out. Now let's have a look of next example. In this example, if we see, we can find two shape. In this one, they both are moving in a clockwise direction. Option B also two shape, they are moving in a clockwise direction. Option C, one image is moving into the clockwise and another image is moving into the anti-clockwise direction. So this is odd. Now option D, again both images are moving in a clockwise direction. Option E, images are moving in a clockwise direction. So the clue here should be the clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. And option C is odd one out here because one shape is moving in a clockwise direction, another shape is moving in an anti-clockwise direction. Now let's have a look of similar next example. In sixth example, we do see objects, a single object which is moving in a anti-clockwise direction. Again in option B, the image is moving in an anti-clockwise direction. Option C, image is moving in an anti-clockwise direction. Option D, image is moving in an anti-clockwise direction, but the option E is moving into the clockwise direction. So the clue here should be again clockwise and anti-clockwise direction, and option E is not following that rule. That means that is the odd one out. Now let's have a look of next example. So in this example, if we see, all options are having the star as a outer shape, then inner shape is heart. But if we look closely, option A, B, C and D, the shading inclination is from left to right. However, the option E is having a opposite direction of shading. It's from right to left in a upward direction. So that is the odd one out. So the clue here should be shading direction, and the odd one out option is option E. Now let's have a look of similar example. Here in this example, we do see all outer shapes are square and inner shapes are different. So that cannot be the clue. But now if we see the shading is from left to right, it's upward direction. Here also same, left to right in upward direction. Here also in option C it's the same. In option D also it's a left to right in upward direction. But option E is the shading is in opposite direction. So the option E should be odd one out here. Now let's see another type of example. So in ninth example, we can see there are different shapes. What is a common rule we can see? So if we see very closely, in most of the images, we do have three lines which are making that particular shape. Here also a similar rule, here also it's similar rule, in option D also it's similar rule. But in option E, we do see there are four lines which are making this W shape. So the clue here should be the number of connected lines, and option A, B, C and D are following that rule, but option E is not following that rule. That means that one is the odd one out. Let's have a look of similar example. So if we see that example 10th, here we can see there are four lines which are connected. Here in option B, C, D and E, all are having four lines. So that cannot be the clue. So what could be the clue here? So if we see option A, the lines are somewhere perpendicular. However, in option B, C, D and E, the lines are not in a perpendicular shape. They are in a zigzag manner. So that can be one pattern. So the clue here should be the shape of line, and option A is a odd one out because they are in a perpendicular manner. but option B, C, D, and E are following a zigzag pattern. That's all in today's video, and we see in the next video with a medium complex level of odd one out questions. Thanks for watching.